like to welcome everybody to our March or April Computer Club meeting. This is a very unique one in that we are not able to get together in person, but we are going to experiment today with two different ways of using the internet to have a conference or meeting. We are doing this under behalf of or under the granting, I guess we would say, of APCUG, who, in order to try to keep their member groups meeting, have bought 2 more Zoom accounts and are letting clubs use them for free for their meetings. Normally, what we've done is sometimes we have a general meeting like this just for training, and then they can have their own meeting. So we've decided that we're going to do our training meeting for this program, and then next month it'll be just a regular program. I'm 2 hats today. I'm your presenter. I'm also here representing APCUG for this first initial training session. After that, then we can kind of turn it over to somebody else to run the meetings. In my 2 regions, I think you'd be interested to know that I have almost 12 different groups that have started using the Zoom or some other conferencing program to keep their groups together. That's just in my 2 regions, and we've got lots of other groups. So groups are, getting together. And so what I would like to do today is, there are a few people I know who've been on Zoom, and lots of that haven't, so want to make sure everybody knows how to handle and do things with Zoom so that you can take part in our meetings. And because you can have, Obi's here. Hope this works this time. Because you can have a free account, anybody can have a Zoom. A free account only is the only restriction is a 40-minute limit per meeting. But what you can do, like we're doing today, is there you go, Ira. We heard you say that.
Did you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to find them. I got 2 of them up there. That's the problem.
Yeah, you do. Okay, I'm going to mute you. So you can have your own Zoom and communicate with people, and for free you get 40 minutes, and then you can just take a 5-minute break and schedule another Zoom and go another 40 minutes. Now, once in a while, Zoom right now is letting the freebie extend theirs a little bit longer than 40, as just a kind of being a nice guy. But you can do that. The paid version, the only thing difference is that you get unlimited time with people. The free version is one-on-one unlimited, but if you add a 3rd person, then you have your 40-minute limit. But for $15 plus tax, you can have as many meetings as you want, as many people as you want, and as long as you want. And a lot of the groups are getting their own because it's tax-free. Dayton has their own. Tomorrow night I'm working with the Canton Akron Massillon group, and on Wednesday night I'm working with the Madison, or not Meth, I already did Madison, with the Midland, Michigan. They're all trying it out, and about half the groups get their own. So what I want to do right now is help you get comfortable with the different options that you have. And the first thing is we're going to go down and look at the bottom left-hand corner. So move your mouse down below the last row of pictures, and your Zoom taskbar should pop up. The first item that we have is a microphone and camera. This is how you turn on and off your microphone and camera. You just click, so everybody can click their microphone. Oh, there, you can hear me again. Turn it off. And what we usually do is for meetings is that we tell everybody to mute themselves until they would like to speak, and then they can unmute themselves after they've been recognized and go on. The same thing, you have the button for your camera. You can stop your video. If for some reason there's something that you don't want us to see, you can turn it on and turn it off. Sometimes if you get up and go away because you have to go to the restroom or go to the kitchen or something, you might not want them to see a big blank screen behind you, so you can turn it off. Now, along with that, next to the mic and next to the camera is a little arrow. It's actually called a caret. And when you click on the caret, you have the options of what do you want to connect Zoom to. When you're on a laptop like I am with a headset like I am, you have two choices for your microphone. The microphone that's on the headset or the microphone that's embedded in your laptop. And so you need to choose and which one you want so Zoom knows. The same thing is true as with speakers. I have earpieces and the computer laptop has them. So you have to pick because if you don't pick the right match, it's not going to work. There's also a button that says test your speaker and microphone, and you always have that when you first come into Zoom. And when you click that, a box will pop up and let you say, do you hear the music? And you say yes or no. And then it says say something, and it'll repeat it back. And if you hear music and you hear yourself talk, then you know everything is working. You also have to make sure that you click the button that says use the computer audio, or it doesn't work. Anybody have any questions about the mic or the camera? If you do, if you raise your hand, or if you go down to the participants, which is down the line from the camera, and that pops up, you should have at the bottom, you should have a thumbs up at the very bottom. And if you have that, or Mary Frances said if you do, where's Mary Frances? Mary Frances, tell what you learned. You're unmuted. Go ahead.
If you want to access, if you want to raise your hand, you can click on Alt plus the keyword key Y as in yippee, Alt and Y, and that will raise your hand on screen.
Thank you very much. Now, why they do that, I have no idea. It would have made sense to me that you do an Alt with an H for hand.
Jim had his hand raised. Jim Holden.
Yeah.
Wait 1 second there. Jim, go ahead and unmute yourself now.
Am I unmuted now?
You're correct.
Okay. I just wanted to comment that if anyone's using an iPad, that you're talking about using the bottom of the screen, where my iPad, the stuff is at the top right of the screen. Yeah, just tap on the screen and it will show up.
That's why I have somebody like you and Chuck and David Reinhardt here to do that.
Okay.
All right, good. That's usually the most difficulty you have is making sure that your microphone and camera, and headset works. Other than that, it's just a real breeze. If you move to the top right corner of your screen, iPad might be a little bit different, so I'll get my people to do that for sure. You have an option to see how you want to see this screen. There's two ways. One we call speaker view, and when speaker view is the choice, you see me in the big screen, and then the rest of you all in little film strips. And whoever speaks jumps to the big screen. The other button is called gallery view, or we jokingly say it's the Hollywood Squares view or the Brady Bunch, and that's where you see as many as possible. On my laptop, I can see 25 people, and we have 33. So then I have to go to the middle of the screen, and there's an arrow for me to click, and I think the devices swipe, and you can see the rest of the people. And then you can go back to see the front.
Hey, John,
Yes.
we have 3 people with their hands up. Terry was first. Terry, if you need to say something, go ahead and nope, I'll unlower his hand. And then Mary Frances, but Nancy was first. Nancy, do you have something to say?
Nancy Grauer. I don't know how to read. If I want to ask a question, what do I do? Press Alt and H?
No,
or Y?
why? I said H would make more sense, H for hand.
Okay.
But Mary Frances, it's Alt-Y for
All right.
yippee.
All right.
Yes, I want to talk.
It used to be down here in our task view thing at the bottom, but it's not anymore. It's not on mine.
Do you have a button that says reaction?
No. Yes, I do.
Click the
That's how I
reaction.
lost you a while ago.
Okay, click the reaction button, and
Right,
you have
left.
left to always select.
Okay.
And is it there? See, I don't see the same as what you see. Neither does Kenneth, because he's a host, and so we have our own bar, but it's supposed to be down there. Okay.
Mary Frances?
Well, how do I get it down there? I see it. I have to click on that.
No, that was a thumbs up you just did for me.
Well, where is the raise hand? I have to use the Alt and Y?
If you don't
Right.
see that, the other way is if you go click on where it says participants,
Yes.
and that has a list of everybody, then scroll to the very bottom of the list,
All right, I did.
and you have
Raise hand.
there you go.
But I have to do that every time I want to raise my hand?
Now you can do Alt-Y.
Oh, my goodness.
Which one seems to be easier to you?
The little icon down in the taskbar, and it's not there. All right, thank you.
That's because people wanted change. They wanted the reaction button there, not the other.
Well, the other thing you could do, Nancy, if we had your video, so anybody on video, if you
don't.
raise your hand, that's a little easier
Oh,
to
you can
see.
see. You all, if I did that, you can see?
If you
Yeah.
turn your video on, yes.
If I turn the video on.
Mhm.
Okay. Is unable to connect because I don't have a camera.
Right.
Ah.
Okay, so at the top right, then it's your choice what you want to see. Speaker view, focus on whoever's talking, or do you like to see most everybody? Now, there's one problem that we have is there's a lot of people. I can only see 25 of the 35 people, so that means that there's 10 that we can't see. But there are a lot of people that don't have cameras on, so I can't see you anyway. So one little trick that you can do is if you right-click, if you go to anybody who's not got a camera on and click the 3 little dots, there is a button that says hide these participants. I can't see them, so we'll hide them. And now all you see is the people who have cameras, and the people who have questions because they want to ask something will have to raise their virtual hands.
I didn't see the 3 little dots. Where are they?
Did you move it onto somebody blank's picture?
Oh,
And then
I
there are
see.
3 dots in the corner, and it says you can
Yeah.
move them and hide them. And then if you want to get back up at the top, it says total non-participants. There are 10 of you, but I can drop that and say show them
Where does it say total non-participants?
at the top of your screen.
I'm looking at recording or speaker view at the top, and then participants.
At the
But I
top.
don't see- Yeah, I'm at the very top.
Yeah.
It doesn't say that. It says Zoom on the left, and then on the right it just has, whether you want to minimize it or...
Oh, you're too high. It should be in the black area between
Okay,
to the
it
left of the
says-
speakers.
All right, so there's a little I, and then there's a lock, and then it says recording.
Yeah, I'm
On the
recording.
right, it says speaker view, and then there's a full screen view that you can,
Okay, did you go ahead and hide all the people that didn't have a camera?
no, I don't
Oh.
know how to do that.
Oh, go up to any black box with no picture,
Oh, and the three little dots.
and then click that and say, hide those.
And then I get a message that I've got one that's hidden. Is that what you're saying?
You
Yeah.
should have 10 that's hidden.
Well, I'll try one. I'll try hiding Mary Frances.
It'll hide them all.
Oh, no matter, you'll hide all the ones that don't have,
Correct.
yeah. Oh, okay.
I think Ken or Mary Frances might have something to input on this. Their hands are up.
Yeah, 1 second. Now, what happens then when I turned it back on? All of the non-visible people went to the end of my tabs. So they're back, but they're on the second screen where I don't need to see them because they don't have them. You said Mary Frances? Mary Frances,
Annie
you may
King.
Mary Frances here, John. Could you please ask everyone to say their name first before they speak, because we have no idea who's talking.
Then that's why you put it in speakers. Or the other thing is, if you look at my screen right now, you'll see that mine has a yellow box around it, or a greenish yellow box.
Mary Frances here. Yes, John, I do understand that. But all the people where I cannot see their picture nor their square, I do not know when they speak. I do not know who it is.
Okay. Well, I just told you, if you go up and right-click and say hide all the people without a camera, and then put them back on.
I did that.
Yep. Then say put them back.
How do you put them back?
It'll say at the top you have 10
Mhm.
participants with no video. Click on that, and they all go to the end of the line. The
Mhm.
best way, Mary Frances, is change it to speaker view, and then
Oh,
whoever
sure.
speaks will always be in your screen.
Mary Frances here. I did that. I'm on a desktop computer, and I'm not seeing what you're telling me to see.
What am I telling you to see?
I'm in speaker view.
And
No.
if you're in now, does it say speaker view?
At the top.
Yeah, okay, click over here. I'm going to put it
Oh,
back.
why are our pictures not moving?
It was in speaker view when I called you and talked.
Because that button in the top is opposite. If it says speaker view, you're in gallery view. So you got to
Oh.
click that button to switch to speaker view. Another one of those first grade things that doesn't make sense to the company that made this.
Well, thank you, because I thought I had gone crazy.
Yeah,
Again.
no, you're good. Okay, you said Ken had something?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Ken Bixler here. The spam picture. I was able in Firefox to right-click on any one of the pictures and select hide non-videos, and then right-click in any picture and bring back those that don't have video. So it seems to toggle if I right-click on anybody.
Yeah, correct. It's one or all, so
Yeah,
that's good
okay.
on that. All right. There's one last square up at the top next to the speaker view or gallery view, and that's the full screen. So if you don't want to see your taskbar at the bottom or the title bar at the top, you can click that button, and it'll say full screen. So that's kind of your choices. The last thing that we need to really work on is that we have the ability, if you're kind of reluctant to speak up or whatever, is that we have a chat box. And down at the bottom, it says chat. Right now, mine says that there are 4 chats that I haven't read. So if I click on that chat box, a chat box will open up. At the very bottom is where you type your question or comment. You'll see right above the typing box that it says it's going out to everyone. Now, right now, I have allowed you to send a text to somebody else. There's an option in Zoom that says, I will not allow you to be privately chatting during our meeting. But for this first trial, I have left that open so that you could try it, and you should try it. Oh, David says, oh, that's right. Thank you, David, for doing that. We just learned this. They're always changing things and whatever, but you have an option that you can shrink everybody's thumbnail even smaller. So instead of 25, you can get up to 49. And I think David says that under video, so go to the little David, was that under the caret for the camera? Unmute yourself. Video settings.
On the Mac, I went up to the pull-down menu and went into the preference settings for the client. And then in there's audio, video, all the main setup stuff. And there's a toggle box in there.
Yeah, let me see if it's under advanced.
Kind of buried.
Because I heard about that. Because I don't see it in the Windows version of that. But Mary Frances would love that in your settings under video, there is a button that says touch up my appearance. Yep, so I don't see that. We'll have to go back and check to see. That might just be an option under the Mac computer.
John, I tried that touch-up button, and I still am missing here.
Oh, yep. So that's pretty much it. At the bottom right-hand corner is a button that says leave the meeting. So if you were gone for the day, you can click to leave. When the meeting's over, the host will click a button that says shut down the meeting, which is what I do. J. David, unmute yourself. Or I'll do it faster. Okay, which one are you on? Because I unmuted you and it won't work.
There
you go.
I just noticed when I looked at those video settings that the option for up to 49 on my laptop, Windows laptop, is grayed out.
It's a CPU option. Terry mentioned it in chat. Your CPU may not support more than 20, your computer rather, will not support more than 25, so it'll be grayed out. Also, John, we had a question about unmuting. The space bar, this is for Mary Frances, the space bar no longer works on my Mac. I don't know if it works for anybody else. Is there a keyboard shortcut for unmuting temporarily, like a walkie-talkie, and releasing to remute?
Yes, all of your shortcuts are there, are listed. So if you go and put your mouse over the microphone without clicking anything, it's Alt-A for allow. Alt-A is that. But the best thing to do is check to see if, like those people who have been around since the old microphone radio days, if you press down on the space bar, hold it down, you should be able to talk, and lift to not. So if it doesn't do that, Alt-A or click the mouse. So it's, kind of your choice that way, whichever. Ron Sherwood is trying to talk. Or he said he was talking. Maybe
no, Ron was not trying to talk. He was just playing with the Alt-A to see if it did switch it on and off.
And it said that Ron wanted to talk. Interesting. So, yeah, Alt-A will do it, and Spacebar used to do it, and I don't know why they changed something that would work that well. Now, one of the neat features of a program like this is that we can have our regular programs, because we can, I need to say, if you want to see a little bit bigger stuff, you can click on your chat box, and then that strip of chat will go away and come back and go away. So I want to get people bigger. The other thing is that when we have somebody who's doing a presentation, it's really neat because they can share their screen. And I'm going to do that because there's something else I needed to show you that I learned. So if I click on my button that I want to share my screen, and I would have a choice of whether I'm going to do the desktop or whether I'm going to do a program I'm running. I'm just going to do the desktop, and I'm going to do a quick share, and then I'm going to shrink it down. So you should see my desktop right now. And on the side, most of you will see a film strip of people, and of course you only see a few people, and you would have to use your little arrow to scroll down through them. At the top of that little strip, there are some icons. One that says, show a bigger grid, a medium size that will show one row up and down. There's a button for smaller that doesn't show anybody but might be who's talking. And then there's a flat line button. And you can click the flat line, and this whole strip goes down to one little bar, and then you can drag that bar anywhere off the screen and out of the way of the presentation. And that's what we taught people for a long time, that that's what you do. Just minimize it, drag it around. But I've discovered that if you go up to the top, you should have a share screen menu, and if you go to more, there should be a button that says hide the video panel. And when you click that, that whole film strip goes away and gets out of the way of sharing the screen. But that's, you have to move your mouse to clear the top, and it will drop down and it'll say more, and then you can hide that. That's a lot easier than dragging that box around. So a person who's presenting then can very easily share their screen and do their computer presentation. They could be able to show things because there's a camera, and if you have the camera running without the share screen, then everybody can see what they're pointing to. And then when the presentation's done, stop sharing, and we go back to the screen with everybody. The difference when we do a webinar with APCUG is that with a webinar, there's no interaction. You guys do not have active mics. You do not have active cameras. You can just listen like you're at a conference, and then a presenter can do the presentation. Any questions on Zoom and how we do things? And I'm glad to see so many people got on this first time. That's great. And hopefully next time when you talk to other people about, hey, it wasn't bad at all, and they can join us.
John. Yeah, John, this is Everett. John, this is Everett. You mentioned the $15. Was that per year, per month, per day, or whatever?
$15 plus, it's $14.99. So first grade, we do whole numbers. $15 a month in tax, but computer clubs, because of being nonprofits, they can get it without tax. Then you also get, when you purchase for the year, you get, you pay for 10 months and you get 2 months free. But you can, purchase month by month. Some of the groups in our regions are doing it month by month, hoping that in just a couple of months they'll be able to get back together in their buildings. But we had a lot of groups that had to disband because where they met fell under the shut things down rule. But then a lot of groups are thinking, now that they've tried this out, that when they can get back together, they'll keep it going, because we've got Bill Anderson visiting with us from Florida. We've got Juanita Newland visiting with us from Arizona. Later on, when we go to our Jitsi one in just a few minutes, we'll probably have Judy Toulour visiting with us because she wanted to see Jitsi working from California. And so that's, member said. The other day when I worked with a group in training, all of a sudden somebody came on and they looked like they're laying in a hospital bed, but they were somebody who was kind of sick, and he was just laying in his bed and had the phone or the laptop right beside him while he was laying down, and he wanted to be a part of the meeting, which he could not have been if it was in for real. And so he stayed around, and pretty soon he, because of medication, just fell asleep. So that works out great. Any other comments? Okay. Jim, did you want to do anything before we switch to Jitsi with any kind of business that needs to be brought?
John, I have a
Oh, yeah,
comment.
Kenneth?
Someone in the beginning of the meeting asked or said, wow, Kenneth, you have a beautiful home. Well, I faked you out. Let me show you what my real home looks like back there. I turned on a virtual background, which is in your settings, and I did that for a few reasons. I don't really care if you see my house, but this background was particularly bright, and it helped with the lighting, so I've turned it on for all my meetings. So virtual backgrounds are a way to fake people out. If you have a dirty house, then turn on the virtual background.
Or the other thing you do is put some kind of a screen or curtain behind you. And we have to do a disclosure that to use the virtual desktop, you have to have a computer that can handle it. And they usually are requiring an i7 processor from Intel, or what would be equivalent to an i7 and AMD. You might get away with an upper end i5, but if you have a lower end i5, which is what I have, it doesn't work very well. So a curtain can put, just curtain behind you. Anything else? Jim, is there any? Oh, there we go. Jim went to San Francisco.
I thought I'd throw that up there and see. Can you see me, or am I?
Well, there's a setting.
Your head's gone.
There's a setting you need to turn off, Jim. You see where it says green screen?
Yeah.
Turn that off, and it'll work just fine.
Where's that at?
It's at the bottom of the choose virtual backgrounds. It says, I have a green screen. It needs to be unchecked. Otherwise, you turn into a green screen like you are. It's kind of a cool effect, though.
Computer doesn't meet the requirements. Okay.
Okay, there you go.
Yep. I have an i5, so.
Yeah, but it half worked because we saw the bridge. So that's right. Anything that needs to be brought up before the group before we shut down, and then I'll send out the email with the Jitsi link to get back in with that program.